quarter mile. There goes, look at the house.
Getting closer and it's growing.
Okay, picture this. Swirling winds, debris flying, and chaos reigning supreme. That's a tornado in action, my friend. Now imagine that this destructive force of nature is heading directly towards you.
To the right of the road and it's coming toward us.
Okay, I see the road.
Hey there, my name is Jeff and welcome to LafPack. Today we are breaking down everything that you need to know about tornadoes, from the basics to the downright most terrifying levels of the EF scale. But before we do that, I have to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed recently, because we are at over 2,000 subscribers and it's still growing. So thank you for joining the pack, thank you for helping this project get up off the ground, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you too become a pack member. Now, speaking of picking things up off the ground, what exactly is a tornado, you ask? Well, to many who have experienced this vortex, it's a whirling demon of destruction. It's like Mother Nature's blender was set to turbo mode. But not to fear, pack members. We've got the lowdown on surviving these swirling behemoths. And that's not all. We're also going to be covering the true story of one of the deadliest tornadoes to ever hit American soil. And later, we look at a freak of nature known as a fire tornado. But before we get into those real life nightmares, let's look at what these EF tornado levels are and what they mean.
Why you gotta do me like that?
EF stands for Enhanced Fujita, named after the scientist who created the scale, Dr. Tetsuya Theodore Fujita. These scales were made to estimate tornado wind speeds based on damage left behind by a tornado. An EF0 tornado is like a mischievous toddler. With a wind speed of only 65 to 85 miles per hour, it can knock over a few things, but nothing too serious. Now an EF1 or an EF2 are like rowdy teenagers, causing moderate damage.
Teenagers.
You'll see trees uprooted and roofs peeled off like a can of sardines, which is to be expected with wind speeds being around 86 to 135 miles per hour. Now this is when you need to put your big boy and girl pants on and seek shelter, because EF3 and EF4s are the heavyweight champions of destruction. With winds as fast as 136 to 200 miles per hour, these bad boys are capable of ripping houses from their foundations and tossing cars like they're Hot Wheels. But just wait, the scary times don't end there, because there are EF5s.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
This is the granddaddy of them all. It's like Godzilla stomping through town, leaving nothing but pure destruction in its wake. One such tornado landed here in America just under a century ago. In March 18th of 1925, the Great Tri-State Tornado tore across southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, and southwest Indiana. Now, to give you some idea of this tornado's magnitude, this massive wind tunnel was at times over a mile wide. With 300 mile per hour winds, it traveled for 3.5 hours non-stop, creating a path of chaos that was 219 miles long. With 15,000 homes destroyed, this EF5 injured 2,027 people and took the lives of 700.
Is there an F5? What would that be like?
Finger of God.
Now I know what you're asking yourself. How do I survive something like that? Well, viewer, I just made up in my head. We've come up with a few scenarios and what you can do in those situations to increase your chances of survival. Number 1, in your home. If you're at home, head to the lowest level, preferably a basement or a storm cellar. And if you don't have one of those, you might as well kiss your keister goodbye. No, of course not. No, there are other things you can do. Find an interior room like a bathroom or a closet that preferably has no windows. Cover yourself with a mattress or heavy blankets to protect against flying debris like broken glass, wood pieces, and possible toys that now look possessed because at that moment, well, they're not only flying in the air, but they're trying to cause you harm. I don't know if you've seen any Exorcist movies, but that's a perfect time to start praying. Number 2, in your car. Now, what if you're in a car? You're safe, right? Nope. Abandon it immediately, not kidding. Seek shelter in a sturdy building or low-lying area instead. If that's not possible, stay in the car with your seatbelt on and cover your head with your hands and a blanket. Because it is not a matter of if the window's going to break, but when. Again, start praying. Number 3, in the wild. Now, if you find yourself at sea or in the wilderness, well, let's just hope you're not finding yourself at sea or in the wilderness. If you are out in the middle of nowhere, again, find a ditch or the lowest point on the ground, hunker down into it, and then pray like you have never prayed before. If you're out at sea, that is literally the only thing you can do. Okay, now let's say you got all the information, you're in a great spot, and you're feeling good about your situation.
Oh, there is just one more thing, Lieutenant.
Fire tornadoes. Yup, they're real. Fire tornadoes or firenadoes occur when intense heat from a fire creates a swirling vortex, combining the destructive power of both fire and wind.
This has happened before, hasn't it?
Come here, check this out. The Great Kanto earthquake of 1923 was one of the worst disasters in Japanese history. A magnitude 7.9 earthquake centered in the western part of the Kanagawa prefecture caused buildings to collapse, landslides to occur, and a tsunami to hit the coastal areas. However, most of the victims did not die in these disasters. The main cause of death was fire. In one open space in Tokyo, almost all the nearly 40,000 evacuees who gathered there for safety died in a fire. Yet this was not just any fire, but rather a fire whirl, or what is more commonly known as a fire tornado. The temperature inside the core of a fire tornado can reach up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is hot enough to potentially reignite ashes sucked up from the ground. Often fire tornadoes are created when a wildfire or firestorm creates its own wind, which can turn into a spinning vortex of flame and absolute terror. Now I have a new nightmare. If you see a fire tornado, follow the same suggestions and stay away from trees or power lines. But overall, try to stay out of its path.
Come back here.
But something looks wrong. I mean, he's running around like he's on fire.
Help me, Jewish God! Help me, Allah! Ah! Help me, Tom Cruise!
When it comes to tornadoes and so many other things in life, knowledge is your best defense. So stay informed, stay prepared, and stay safe. If you're new, hit subscribe to join the pack. Don't forget to smash that like button. Never run into a fiery vortex of death. And remember, it's pack or nothing. Alright, I just wanted to show the rest of the pack some artwork from one of our very own. Abby, a fellow pack member, drew this awesome picture of a superhero armadillo, and I gotta say, it made everyone here super excited. We loved it. And as many of you know, this is from the episode covering those Ninja Turtle wannabes. If you have any artwork you would want to send in, or if you have some questions or suggestions of your own, you can email us at lafpackpanda@gmail.com. Thanks again, Abby. This armadillo looks amazing.